Hey everyone, I got a video on the Foghorn step from the Call of the Dead Easter egg in Black Ops 1 Zombies. Now this is the step that is near the end of the Easter egg. It's actually after you interact with the 4 radios and then the controls inside the bridge. You're going to hear the submarine make a noise and come out of the water just beyond the ship in the lighthouse, and it's going to sit there waiting for you to input the correct Foghorn sequence. Now there's going to be 4 Foghorns, one on the beach in front of the lighthouse by the water. The second one you need to press is right down the ice slide on the right. The third one is against the base of the lighthouse. And then the fourth one is going to be down the ice slide straight ahead. And once you input these 4 Foghorns, you're going to get a green light to come out of the submarine, hear a noise, and you're going to be able to move on to the final step. But the problem that many have run into, and including myself, is I've had this happen, unfortunately, a couple times, and each time I thought I was soft locked, and I ended up having to restart my game, wasting all the time spent doing the rest of the Easter egg and troubleshooting. And I thought there wasn't a fix, but decided to look into this more because it seemed like a lot of people were running into it, and I couldn't find any answers on the internet. So I found that it is not actually locked, but there is a glitch that prevents you from moving on if you don't know what is happening. So to get into this glitch, essentially what is likely happening to you is that you're pressing an incorrect foghorn or two, or you or your teammates, and then after that you try to input the correct sequence and order. Well, what happens is the submarine is sitting there waiting for the fourth input, and it begins to sink as soon as that fourth input is received. But you're actually pressing a fifth or sixth input while it is sinking, and because of that, it's carrying over that input to the next round. So when the submarine reemerges, it's already got one of the inputs sitting there stored in it. So when you keep trying to input the correct sequence, you're actually starting with the input that you ended with on the previous round, which is likely the fourth foghorn. So you're really it's doing 4, 1, 2, 3 every time instead of the correct 1, 2, 3, 4 foghorn order. Now, for anyone stuck in the game right now trying to find an answer, I won't waste any more time giving you the solution. The simple fix is that you have to go to a clean round and make the submarine sink, but not press a single other input while it's sinking. So likely for you, that's going to mean pressing 3 total foghorns and then watching it sink. So what I found is the best method is to go to this foghorn 4, press it slowly 1, 2, and then 3 times, and then watching to make sure the submarine is sinking on the third time. And once you do this, you're not going to touch any more foghorns until the next round starts, and you hear the sub come up. So give it about 15 to 30 seconds after the new round starts before you try to put any more inputs in, and you should be able to input the correct order again and move on, get the green light out of the submarine, move on with the Easter egg. Now I'm going to get into what is actually causing this to happen. Why are you stuck in this endless cycle of not being able to progress in the Easter egg? Why is it storing your previous round's input? And I'm going to be putting the relevant areas of the code from the screens from the decompiled Black Ops 1 Call of the Dead Easter egg code. But what's going on is there is an array called Serenade, which waits for 4 total Foghorn inputs. And once there's 4 inputs stored in it, it's going to immediately check for the correct code. If it's not the correct sequence inputted, then it's going to clear it, and the submarine's immediately going to start to sink. Now the problem is there is a 5-second waiting animation for this sub to sink, and the flag that it accepts your submarine inputs is not cleared until after this 5-second sinking window is occurring. So when you're trying to input your code as the submarine's sinking, it's going to accept as many foghorns as you can get in that 5-second sinking window and store them to the next round. I spent numerous hours testing this just to prove that this is exactly what's happened. I was even able to get 2 presses of a foghorn in to carry over to the next round, but most commonly it's only going to be 1, so you're going to have to press the foghorns 3 times to kind of reset it so that you have a clean slate for the new round. But yeah, that's really what's going on. Another important note that I do want to make that I bet people are running into is there is a 10-second timer for the submarine to rise and a 5-second wait at the start of the round before that animation even occurs. Here, the code's on the screen. And because of this, any inputs you press at the start of the round in this first 15 or so seconds are not going to be taken. So if you think if you're pressing 1 before that, and you think you're pressing the code correctly, it's not even hearing that first foghorn or two or however many you're pressing in that time. So my best advice is just to wait until you hear the submarine play its little tune after it reemerges each time, and that's when you should start actually inputting the foghorns. A couple more things that I want to address with this are the fact that there's some answers and posts by people saying that there has to be fog or there can't be fog while you're interacting with the foghorns for the code to work. Yeah, this just isn't the case. There's nothing in the code about that, and just play testing. We did almost all of this foghorn pressing without the fog, so we could actually watch the submarine sink. But we did it as well with the fog, and there is no issue at all. So that is not true. Do not believe any of that. As well as the fact that people are saying that there is a timer on the foghorns, like you have to interact with them in 5 seconds each, or you only have 30 seconds to hit all four. Not true. I was able to do this all by myself in a co-op game, where I just went around and pressed all four, and that takes a minute or two because you got to keep going down the ice slide and everything to go around the full circle. So there's no timer on this step either. So all that's key is watching the submarine. If you see that submarine sinking before your fourth input, you know you're in this state, and you got to press just the 3 the next round to clear it, so you do not have this problem. But that's all I got for this step. If anyone finds any other issues with it or has a scenario to get into it that I didn't mention, I would be interested to hear about it in the comments. But I appreciate everyone watching, and I want to just thank Hockey Monkeys and Nicky Moneybags for helping me with the numerous test runs to collect all this data for everybody so that we actually have an understanding of what this glitch is. So I hope no one else gets stuck like me restarting their game because they run into this, and this makes it whole lot clearer. Thanks, everybody.